welcome back. Your dreams were your ticket out. Welcome back to that same old place that you laughed about. Well, the names have all changed since you hung around, but those dreams have remained and they've turned around.
All right, welcome back to the barroomblitz.com, where we bring sports talk back to where it belongs. Once again, tonight we have our biggest show ever. We'd like to welcome the ambassador to the Flyers hockey, Mr. Bob Kelly.
Thank you, yeah.
And one of our Blitz boys, an old guest, an old friend of the show, Dave the Hammer Schultz here. We got Dougie the Show Shaw and Glenn Cheeks Keller. We're the regulars on the show. We're talking some old school hockey. I just
Eddie Shore.
Eddie Shore. That's the only guy he knows. You know that, Dave.
It works.
Right. Bobby Orr too.
Bobby Orr.
Yeah.
Bobby Orr.
Right.
Why don't we bring up some we were talking during the break, talking about like when I used to watch hockey back in the old Spectrum days, and then before they closed it, when you went down to the game, it focused on the game itself. Like you watched the game itself. When you were in the Spectrum, it was dark all around. They lit up the ice. There wasn't ads like everywhere and stuff like that. Like we understand that the game develops like that for the money and stuff like that. But do you think it takes away from the game itself, or do you guys still enjoy watching games today?
Well, this is the new era. This is the way hockey's played. I mean,
Right.
These guys are coming up. You go over and watch hockey in Europe, and we traveled around. Played throughout Europe. Thanks to you, we got thrown out of a couple countries. That's another story. We have lots of stories.
Tell us.
They stand and rock. They stand and cheer and rock. When you see games like in Lillehammer and stuff like that, they stand and rock. Their fans are into a game.
Mm-hmm.
And, they wear advertising all over their jerseys on the boards. I mean, it's part of the game. But down here, with the mandatory stoppages of play, you need stuff to fill the game, and it's a big bowl. It's bright, like you said. You come in, it's like doom and gloom come the Spectrum. And when you're in there, it's just strictly for hockey. No advertising on the ice, no advertising on the boards. We didn't have the jumbotron look at the stuff. So the focus was there, but now it's just the way it is. I mean, Richards gets a $69 million contract. I think the whole league didn't. Our whole team didn't make $2 million. So.
Right.
And if we did, you got too much.
Wow. I made somebody made too much.
You made most of yours on goal scoring, right?
Yeah, on my bonuses, my scoring bonuses. Yeah, I had a bonus for. I had a bonus for 30 points. Yeah, I think it was
unachievable. Next.
I think I got
Unachievable next.
No, it was like $10 a point.
Wow. Over 30.
I guess you prairie chickens had good negotiators, eh? Hey, throwing a case of beer with that too, eh?
I watch hockey today.
I used to score for a case of Tasty Cake.
Yeah. You still would, wouldn't you?
Did they really give you the taste of case of cake?
Shit, yeah.
They did.
We always felt guilty when we took ours.
I still have cases in my basement.
Do you really?
Oh, yeah, I can't eat all that.
They might freeze them.
Now, since
you freeze them.
Well, Tasty Cakes has come back.
I know. But somebody told me that.
They're a radio station center pitch now, and I can't name the station, obviously, right?
Yeah, sure.
WIP.
Right.
The Tasty Cake Studio.
Players are now getting Tasty Cakes, and they built a lot of swimming pools for us back in those days and put up fences.
What Tasty Cake did?
Oh, yeah, you always line up. No, the cakes, you give them away, you get nice deals. But, used to always, the kids line up for Halloween. Kids always came to your house for Halloween. You give out those nice
One year he got 3 cases. A goal a case.
Dave, these guys are sharper than that.
Yeah, that was you, Dave. That was you. Remember, you were the one.
They were going like, wow, he got that many goals.
Bob he had 20 goals in a couple seasons, right?
Yeah, I had a great career.
Hey,
you did not.
You had 20 goals your last season. I know that for the Washington Capitals.
Goal scoring
we
was
won't go there.
Yeah.
No, I had my most points ever, but that's for another story too. So
how many did your most points ever?
I was in Washington.
How many points was that?
50-something.
Yeah, 50-something.
20 goals. 26 goals.
26 goals, 36 assists, 62.
Penalty minutes were still up too.
That was a lot.
Still up,
a lot back
157.
then.
Yeah.
Right up there, you're still roughing them up.
Played all 80 games, and next year a gentleman took over the team, and I think he was missing those things between your legs. And, And anyways, he didn't. He didn't find any use for me, so I retired. I went home December 19th. And I said I'm done.
He certainly wasn't missing nothing between his ears.
Now, says, why don't we bring up both of you guys? Both of you guys were traded from the Flyers, but you've obviously came back to Philadelphia, where you like we've talked about that they've just been voted Hockey Town USA. They've passed the Detroit Red Wings and stuff. Like yes, the best fans in hockey are in Philadelphia right now.
Last year, 2 years ago. Number
Now,
one fan.
and you can see it from the crowd we have here tonight. We've had plenty of people, and people have been coming here. They were camped out at 5:30. They had a table of people sitting here waiting for you. I mean, how great do you like that you can come in anywhere and like not have to pay for a beer?
Well, there's no tab to this. We'll have another.
Now, we played in a very special time. There's no question about it, and it was a different era. And the Hound was the funniest guy I ever played with. As you can tell, he's hilarious. We used to land in the city. We get off the plane and get on the bus, and he would, from the time we got from the airport to the hotel, he would cut up everyone on the bus. Obviously, Gene Hart, that was an easy target for you. To the coach, to the general manager, everybody. So he was the funniest guy I ever played with, and we're dear as friends. And as there's like about 16 of us from the Cup years living in the Philadelphia area,
right?
And so it's a great area for us.
I mean, Gene Hart, the round mound of sound.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
He's the only guy that had his pants flared at the wrong end. Flares
the great pumpkin.
Yeah. Well, look at him. They had those ugly orange jackets on. They looked like a big pumpkin on there.
And you would sit on the bus, and they would
he
give
had
you
the greatest
points,
voice,
right?
though.
Yeah.
He had the greatest hockey voice, one of the greatest hockey voices ever.
The best ever.
Yep. I mean,
the best.
so that.
Danny Gallivan and
I'm telling you, listen to him call
Hewitt.
games.
You guys wouldn't have heard them.
What's the guy with the tie? What's the guy that wears the ties up
I was
north?
a little younger.
Tom Johnson or
no, the guy that wears the fancy collars.
Don Cherry.
Don Cherry, yeah.
Yeah, well, he was a coach. He coached the Boston Bruins, so figure that one out.
So figure it out.
We had the Fog. They had Don Cherry.
Can I ask you, when you're on the bus, were you drinking on the bus?
No.
No
we
no
don't.
drinking on the
Just
bus.
tasty cakes.
We're athletes.
Just
No.
Oh my!
finely tuned athletes.
I mean, so sober.
Very
You can come
dedicated.
up with all these back and forth
Well,
stuff.
here's what happened. In the old days, you wore a shirt and tie, you looked presentable, you dressed properly. We always had to fly commercial. These guys fly charter everywhere now. Makes their travel a lot easier.
Nice.
Bigger planes, they eat way better than we do. We had to eat, in the airplanes now, they give you a sandwich, they tell you to take a bite and pass it on. Everybody's coming back. But at one point in time there, Freddie thought that he was really taking out, good guys like Eddie Van Imps up there, so he said we were allowed to have a cocktail on the flight, one or two. Trouble is, a couple people had more than one or two, and this lady became annoyed with us, and at 40,000 feet, our guys told her to get off the plane. So
That'd be hard.
The laws
Did they give you a parachute, Schultz?
No parachute.
the rules have changed now, and of course you'd be arrested, so everything changes.
Right.
Yeah. But you guys seem to love Boston for some reason. But,
I do.
He does.
No, I can't stand Boston.
That's where my family's from. My mom and dad are born and raised, so that's
for some reason the Frenchmen and Boston have always had a great rivalry in there, Montreal and Boston, and some of the greatest players, Boom Boom Geoffrion, who passed away recently, he was coach of Atlanta Flames. So they go into Boston. They really need the game with the Flames in there. So in the morning he's pepping up his team. He said, we've got to have a real good thing. So he said, now when Boston comes down on you 3-on-2, both you guys take a man, eh? You're missing a guy.
Yeah, you're missing one guy.
So they go through their skate. He's giving them their stuff. He says, you guys you really got to work hard tonight and everything. And of course they go out, and the first period is disastrous. So he comes in and he starts kicking and throwing the trash can. He said, I don't give a shit who they got on their team. I don't trade one of my guy for one of their guy. Well, maybe one or two. They got Orr, Esposito, Hodge. Maybe one or two. And then one time in Montreal, Claude Ruel was going through a really bad time. You remember him as a coach? Heavy guy, one eye. So on national TV, this Claude, there seems to be something wrong with their team. He says, I don't care how bad my team is, I don't go down on my boys.
That would get ripped up today.
We're in a bar, right?
All right, on that note, what we're going to do, we're going to take another word from Bud Light and some of our other fine sponsors, and we'll be right back with some more Barroom Blitz.
All right.
That would get ripped up today.